let me tell you what I know, JB. I know that Fernando Mendoza is a national champion. I know that Fernando Mendoza is a Heisman Trophy winner. I know that Fernando Mendoza, when the going got tough in the fourth quarter of the national championship game, he scrambled into the end zone on fourth down. He made key back shoulder passes that produced first downs. Fernando Mendoza had one of the greatest college seasons in the history of college football. He's a legend of college football. He's someone that Heisman Trophy winner, 16-0. Put up draw up a lower third while JB's talking here. JB, put some respect, and spell respect, RESPEK, on Fernando's name. JB, the floor is yours. Put some respect on Fernando's name.
Please put me in a group text with Jason Whitlock. No way he would have believed that this is true. No way he walks into Ball State, Jeff George crying in the locker room, and he wants to play for that guy. No way he goes to the field of battle. This is from an NFL head coach. Please put me in a group text. There's no way you want your quarterback and leader crying as Josh Allen just did and Fernando Mendoza every interview. There's no way, a little less your quarterback, but your number one protector, offensive tackle, then goes and cries for him. What are we doing in football? So that's one NFL head coach. So number one, there's that. Number two, there's no way you're sitting up here sounding as liberal as a liberal can possibly sound on a show, conservative-based show, that is telling us that you like crybabies as your quarterback and leader. There's no way you're going to sit up here and tell me that you're not condoning and promoting females in our spaces. You're not sitting here advocating for females to coach football, are you, Jason? Please tell me no. Please tell me you're not. Please. We can't do that. We can't do that on your show.
JB, if let's say you and I were alive 50 years from now, do you think they're going to show a highlight of Fernando Mendoza crying or running into the end zone against a great Miami defense? Not just running into an end zone, diving into an end zone to win that game.
You're misspeaking, though. You're misspeaking all over the place. Your rhetorics are false. You're pushing these false narratives out here to fit your narrative, but they're false. And then you better make sure your team clips all this tonight, and puts that social media clip out there that I'll collaborate with, of course, because I love the smoke. Here's number one we got to talk about. First of all, you misspoke. You said he scrambled. No, he did not scramble. It was a design QB power draw play, a great design by Cignetti. And let's just talk brass tacks, facts, okay? That's what we do on your show. We talk facts. So he had 121 yards at halftime against off coverage. For whatever reason in the world, Miami wanted to play 8 yards off and just give him run solutions. We call those run solutions built into Cignetti's offense. For all you football knowers out here that want to defend the crybaby, let's be clear here. So what happens is if there's a heavy box and we can't run the football, there's a run solution implemented in every offensive play Cignetti runs. I know what Cignetti does. I'm just a very similar play caller. So we got a heavy box, Jason. In the run solution, we can pull it and we can throw it out based on the box. Well, it's very easy to do so when your corners are 8 yards off, like Miami was. So guess what? You had 16 completions in the first half for 121 yards. Still pretty pedestrian, but let's say 16 completions. So guess what? I said on my yacht while I was watching the game, I said, why the heck aren't we pressing these guys? So guess what happens in the second half? The D coordinator got his head out of his rear end and said, oh, let's press them. So now the run solution became a little bit more cloudy, Jason, and he started to give the football because he couldn't throw against 8 yard off cushion. How many completions did he have in the second half? Go.
4. I don't know.
Crickets. Well, he didn't have 8. In the third quarter, he had one completion, and then all the way till the middle of the fourth when he threw 2 UFO routes. UFO stands for you fade out for all you casuals in the chat. He threw 2 UFO routes that were great catches, by the way, because if those balls are incomplete, the game's over. And they weren't actually great balls, contrary to your belief. They were great catches. And guess what that tells me as a quarterback guy and a coach and a guy that actually knows football, unlike your chat in here. This is what it tells me as a play caller. Let's keep this pedestrian Heisman Trophy winner, the worst in the last 25 years, by the way, out of harm's way, Jason. Now, it's going to finish right here, and then you can have this. Let's keep him out of harm's way, Jason. Let's throw it out on the perimeter, UFO routes, you fade outs. And guess what happens on those routes, Jason? It's either complete or incomplete. There is no harm's way. There's no other secondary defender in the way. There's no flat defender to worry about. There's no cloudy coverage. You throw the ball to a spot, make my wideout make it. It's not going to be picked off because we know the second half, they locked you down, similar to what's going to happen in the NFL to this pedestrian quarterback, noodle arm kid who did the same thing at Cal Berkeley. That's the guy I saw the other night against NFL talent. He looked like he did at Cal. A very pedestrian, horrific Heisman Trophy winning quarterback who cries. So that's who he is. And in 3 years, we'll circle back to this show. Hopefully, we're still doing a show. It's huge now by then, and both of our shows. And I'll say, Jason, where's Fernando doing? He's bagging groceries, Jason, at Walmart.
JB.
So we'll go back to it. Well, time will tell. Go ahead.
JB, why do I have to look at a man that won a Heisman Trophy, quarterbacked the team to a 16-0 record? Why do I have to look at him and say, well, in the NFL, he's going to do this or that? Why can't I just judge him off of what happened in college? He won a Heisman Trophy. He led a team to 16-0. He, in the first quarter, absorbed 3 illegal hits, one that probably should have got the Miami player tossed out of the game, the helmet directly underneath the chin, bloodied the guy's lip. He never batted an eye. He never cried. He never whined to the referees. He did nothing. He wiped the blood out of his mouth and kept playing. They tried to punk Fernando Mendoza, and he refused to be punked. And then when the game was on the line and things mattered the most, he made brilliant plays down the stretch. They tried to punk this dude. He's a smiling assassin. You can't tell me as a man you wouldn't rather have a son like that, a smiling assassin that never comes out of character, never loses his composure, and can't be punked. And I like the Miami players. I like Cristobal. I certainly love Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Michael Irvin and those guys. But the Miami players tried to punk this little suburban crybaby. And he never batted an eye, never backed down, never whined and complained, never talked trash on them, certainly didn't swing at anybody after the game like Thatcher. And then, well, he said something about my daddy, so I swung at him. Never did any of that. You tell me you can't put some respect on Mendoza's name and celebrate this young man? JB, what are you doing? What's the point of playing sports if this kid doesn't embody everything we're trying to teach in sports?
Oh, so it's a college thing now. So you moving this goalpost. Got it. Okay, now I got it. Now I know what you do. That's why you're such a great journalist in Kansas City, the Star, and all those for those years, and Fox. So now I get what you're doing. So you made 2 viral clips of me talking about him being a first.
And we're about to get 3 or 4 more today if you keep talking this silly smack and don't put some. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So wait up. So my viral clips were about him being an NFL guy and a #1 overall pick. But now you're moving it to, maybe JB's right. He's not an NFL guy. So let's go back to him being a great college guy because he won a Heisman in the worst Heisman campaign we've ever seen. Those 4 guys sitting up there, none of them were Heisman Trophy winners, let's be honest. And then we're now going to a 24-year-old average roster that was just perfectly fit into the gods kind of just perfectly set that there for him. So now we're going to college and how great of a college player he was. So now he's Tim Tebow. So now we're doing the Tim Tebow thing. Got it. I thought you were talking about JB, why JB didn't like him as an NFL guy, because that's what I've been standing on business, BIDNESS. That is what I thought we were doing. Now you want to move the needle because he threw for 186 yards in a national title and had the most pedestrian national championship winning quarterback play we've ever seen. Got it. So I'm trying to figure out now if we're going to go to college and he had 16-0. Yes, kudos to him. Great job being a system quarterback. And it's funny that we can call Jalen Hurts a system quarterback when he won a Super Bowl, but not Fernando Mendoza. Got it. So I'm just trying to make sure that we're on the same page. So college-wise, yes, 16-0. Kudos to him. Heisman. He got the trifecta done. He won the
JB.
Heisman. He got the Natty. I got it. Great job.
JB. He played in a college game on Monday for the national title.
Yep.
Can we not wait until Wednesday or Thursday before we go into now as an NFL prospect? All I'm reacting to is what you did Monday night, Tuesday morning. You took a dump on a guy that won the Heisman, led his team to a national championship, had an awesome fourth quarter, didn't allow himself to be punked by some Miami kids that thought they could punk him. Can I celebrate that? And look, you know, if we get to Friday, and now that the college thing is in the rearview mirror, I'm more than willing to talk about him as a pro prospect. I've already said, I don't like him at the very top of this draft. I don't know if I like him in the first round, but if I can get him late in the first, early in the second round, I love this kid. I love everything he brings to the team, all the intangibles, all the Tom Brady-like intangibles that help make Tom Brady great. And so I got no problem arguing with him as a pro prospect and what he brings to the locker room. I'm chastising you for refusing on this is the one thing we do in sports. It's like it's a prove it to me. It's like, hey man, we went out and Miami's got all these pro prospects on defense and on their whole team, and we celebrate men that step into the arena, compete, don't back down, don't get punked, stand on their manhood. I'm just saying, can we celebrate him for that? And now, we want to put a period at the end of that story and talk about whether he'll be a great pro player. I can have that conversation as well. But all I'm saying is, like, we can't give this kid. You telling me, JB, if you had a son, you wouldn't want your son to conduct himself the way this young man, never bringing an ounce of shame, celebrating his teammates at every turn? What are we doing here? What kind of coach were you, JB? I watched Last Chance U. You telling me you wouldn't want a kid that's always big-upping his teammates, that isn't a punk?
No, not at all. I would never say that, but that's how my son would be. But
and so you'd celebrate him.
But that wasn't.
You wouldn't take a dump on him because he's not the best pro prospect.
Well, no, I only project. We do content over everything. We do a show that projects. There's a flip side to the coin of everything you just alluded to. You just talked about how we kind of dump on guys so quickly, don't even wait a week and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, there's a flip side. There's a flip side. We also anoint them after one game or one season as well. We anoint them and put them on a pedestal, Jason. There's a got to be a gray area. This guy is not the greatest quarterback in the last 30 years in college, okay? Stop. I'm seeing this everywhere because he went 16-0 in the perfect storm. Cignetti caught lightning in a bottle. It's not going to happen again. Stop. He brought 33 players from James Madison that were older two-star kids. It was a perfect storm.
Oh, now you're taking a dump on Cignetti too?
No, I'm just telling you, let's see what he does. Listen, Cignetti just went 9-2 last year. He went undefeated this year. He won a natty.
He went 11-2 last year, didn't he?
Or whatever, yeah, 11-2. Whatever he did. And now we're anointing him as the next Nick Saban, or already better than. Like, I've seen that narrative.
He's better than Nick Saban.
No. I've seen it already out there with some people on ESPN. Let's pump our brakes. We got to watch this guy in year 3 without having 33 of his guys coming from the same school that knows his system. Let's see what he does out there and see what he does in this whole portal world at the University of Indiana. After all, we're still talking about Indiana doing this on a year-in, year-out basis. If that happens, all right, he's the GOAT. Put him in down in Nick Saban and Pete Carroll. Come on now, Urban Meyer. But until that, we got to pump our brakes. We anoint them, but we can't criticize them, is what you're saying. No.
Look, you can criticize any and everybody. I do it all the time. But let's even Cignetti, like you act like this is his first good year.
No.
Everywhere he's been, he's told. Google him. If you Google him, he's won everywhere. The man showed up in Indiana and said, Google me. I win everywhere. I'm going to win here. He said, it ain't just Purdue whose butt we're going to kick. It's going to be Michigan and Ohio State too. He backed it all up. Well, this isn't his first rodeo. The man is a hell of a coach, whether he wins another national championship or not.
I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you, like, let's stop putting these guys on this pedestal so quickly. If we can't critique them, then we shouldn't anoint them as quickly either. There's got to be a fair balance here. So let's give him a year. We're talking year 3 in Indiana he's about to go into in the wild, wild west. He doesn't have the opportunity or the luxury of having 33 guys coming from the same school. If that's the case, then UCLA better win it all this year, right? Because that guy from James Madison just left there and took a bunch of kids to UCLA. Is he going to do the same thing and win? We'll find out real quick how this model works. So
that has nothing to do with Kirk Cignetti. That has nothing
to do. No. It has to do with the process and how the system is set up for right now. And this is like I said, lightning in a bottle happened. You can't tell me it didn't happen. Jason, if you just do
JB, you're acting like this is Deion going 9-4 at Colorado. This isn't Deion going 9-4. That was lightning in the bottle. That was fool's gold. 16-0 after going 11-2 the year before. That's not fool's gold, JB.
No, this is the same roster. This is the same roster. What do you mean? Let's be honest. You're telling me that Indiana, when we had 5 years to play 4, this was a normal, everyday occurrence? You thinking Cignetti could do this when it was 5 to play 4 and he couldn't have 33 guys that were 2-star guys at 24 years old?
Could he have done this?
This is not going to happen. This
could
is
he have done this? No. 16-0 national championship? No. Could he have made Indiana a 10-win team? Could he have left Indiana and went to LSU or Alabama and become a great coach? Yes, I think so. I think this man knows what he's doing as a coach.
He couldn't have, and neither could anyone else. It's no knock on Cignetti for saying what I'm saying. Nobody could have did this when we played because these kids wouldn't have been available to play, Jason. They would have been graduated.
But that's not my point, JB. My point is that Kirk Cignetti hasn't proven to be Nick Saban because Nick Saban can sustain things and over time and blah, 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 blah. But if Kirk Cignetti would have had success at Indiana, no different than Nick Saban, I guess, had success at Toledo, Michigan State, and then got the opportunity at LSU and Alabama. Kirk Cignetti would have been that type of coach. This would have been his Michigan State years. He would have been hired to coach at LSU, not Lane Kiffin. And I think Kirk Cignetti would have proven that he would have won at LSU 10, 15 years ago. National championship at LSU would have been a possibility. That's who Kirk Cignetti has revealed himself to be, one of the great coaches. Over time, it takes a lot, consistent years and consistent winning to be on the same level as Nick Saban or Urban Meyer or any of these other guys. But yes, Cignetti has proven that he's capable of being one of those type guys.
We'll see. I don't believe he has in 2 years at Indiana. He's done a great job at James Madison and these other places. He's a great coach. He's a great football coach. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not a football coach. He's a great football coach, and he's a builder. He's a program builder, and that is something that's very unique. And I know something about that part. So I'm just telling you, that is the hard part about it. Building a place that wasn't successful is the hardest thing. Not taking over an LSU job that already has all the resources and all the glamour. No, it's going to an Indiana, James Madison, independence with no locker rooms. Trust me, I get it. What I'm saying is, can he do what he just did in this current Wild Wild West without his 33 familiar faces that he brought with him? That's lightning in a bottle. That's not going to happen no more. Jason, it's not. We can admit to one thing. It will not be that way next year. These players are gone. They're done. Their eligibility's over. So now let's see Cignetti get in with the big boys in this space and do what he just did in an open NIL market and a resourceful issue and battle LSU and Alabama and Ohio State and all these on a regular basis. That's all I'm saying.
Someone got to help me out here. In the chat, Peyton, Luke, someone help me out here. JB, are you trying to tell me that him taking a bunch of low-level Division I players from James Madison to Indiana and having this kind of success, that somehow that diminishes Kirk Cignetti? It just doesn't. That can only be a positive. He took a bunch of 2 and 3 stars up to the power conference level and won at the highest level. He may never do it again, and yes, things will be different. But what he's done, taking those 33 guys from James Madison and turning them into national champions at Indiana, that's actually a feather in his cap that actually makes him look really, really good. It should actually give you more confidence about what he's going to do next year.
No, it doesn't. That's why I'm glad I'm on your show to give you the macro scope of things in the football world. So because ignorance is life-threatening, and we have to make sure we're clear on that with your chat. Your chat has to understand ignorance is life-threatening. So let me give you some context to what you just said, and let me give you some macro stuff that you can use later on when you clip this and go viral. Here's what we're gonna do.
I think your real problem is with Luke and Peyton, not with me. But go ahead.
So Luke and Peyton, let me give you some facts that you can run with and post on your guys' social media. Here's what we got to do. Those 2 and 3 stars. Okay, let's talk facts here. Well, JB, they beat Oregon. Oregon had 58 5-stars. You know what that is? You know what Indiana has right now? 33 5-stars that you're not mentioning. You don't want to talk about the maturation of 24-year-olds playing 17 to 19-year-old 5-stars that we enabled. And guess what? Who tabbed those guys 5-stars? Anyone know? Oh, the guys that never put on a cleat. The guy that never put on a cleat put these guys as 5-stars. Number one, stars get coaches fired every year, number one. Number two, we took 2 stars and we put them through the maturation process at James Madison, meaning they were hungry for a bag of money, Jason. So we're going to go to Indiana, and guess who won that game? Indiana. You know why? Because they were the best team, Jason. They weren't the best talented team. They were the best team. The best team won the national title. They were nowhere near the most talented team against Oregon, against Alabama, against Miami. The best team won. And you know how you make teams? Maturation process, culture. It's why he took 33 2-star guys, because they were hungry for a bag, Jason. They wanted to prove that they can earn the money. Where we already paid 5-star guys, Jason, without ever playing or proving anything. We paid 5 stars, millions of dollars, and they yet to prove anything. And they got mollywopped by some 2-stars that have now become 5 stars by maturation. Simply age. And you can't tell me that's not fact-based. It is fact.
There's some truth to what you're saying.
It's all true.
Well, here's what you're basically saying. It's like, hey, Jason, you were a 2-star recruit, Whitlock, 2-star recruit. But by your 5th year at Ball State at age 23, yeah, you could go play in the Big Ten without getting embarrassed, hold your own, because you'd be playing against 20-year-olds. You would have been in the college weightlifting program for 5 years, bench pressing 500 pounds. I get all that. I understand, but everybody else had the same opportunity. You got to give Cignetti credit for figuring out, hey, if I can put a group of a veteran team together and hold on to some lower star guys that are 22, 23, 24 years old now, I got a shot. It's not like Miami. It's not like Miami didn't throw out. Carson Beck is 32 years old. I mean, what?
No. You just said everybody else. Name me another coach that brought 33 guys from their school the year before. Go. You just said everybody else had the same opportunity. No, they did. I'm telling you, this is lightning in a bottle. This is the perfect storm. This is an anomaly. No other coach had this. No, they did not. So Alabama, DeBoer, 2 years ago that left Washington, did not do it. He didn't bring 33 guys. And last year, who did he have at Alabama? All new class. No one had it. Dan Lanning did not have the same opportunity. He did not bring 33 guys from Georgia. He wasn't the head coach either. These are coordinators taking these jobs. This is a head coach that left James Madison.
Let me tell you
33
what,
of
I
his
figured
guys.
it out, JB. I figured it out. You spent too much time texting with whining coaches that are complaining about Kirk Cignetti's success and giving you all the reasons
we're
why.
anointing them.
The only reason
we're
why they were
praising
able
them.
to beat us. They're all making excuses now because they got beat and embarrassed by a better coach this year.
No, contrary to belief, we're actually applauding Cignetti because what won was culture. What Deion Sanders will not do. This is the problem. This is a culture thing. He brought 33 guys and ran the exact same system with the same culture and brought it to a new building. And all those players, the majority of those players on that roster understood the objective. They already knew how this thing operated. They knew what the do's and the don'ts were within the program structure and the parameters of the program. This was already in place. This is a lightning in a bottle. How many places can bring the head coach and 33 guys, culture, understanding, philosophy, offensive philosophy, defensive coordinator, and just come and plug and play? That's a plug and play scenario that we'll never see again, in my opinion. So it is an anomaly, lightning in a bottle. And I want to see Cignetti do it in year 3. To me, is really year 1 for him with the big boys. Because, listen, did he coach and out-coach everybody? Yes. And that's where we're applauding him. He's a hell of a coach. We already knew that going in. He coached A.J. McCarron at Alabama, who's on my show every week. Trust me, we know he's a great coach. What I'm saying is, can he do this and sustain this in this model going forward without his culture and guys? That is going to be the test. And everyone that knows this understands this, that have coached or played at this level, they understand this will be the next test next year. New quarterback, new system, new guys, new wideouts, everything's going to change. And now you're in a mercenary business, Jason. This wasn't a mercenaries team that he just had. He had a team that was his babies, already understood everything. Now he's going in the portal and getting mercenaries for money. Let's see if he can still tie all this together. That's going to be the test, and that's just fact. That's what it is. Next year will be the true test. Knocking his. I get your point, though. I'm not knocking Cignetti's national title and saying it's lucky. No, he coached his butt off. They won the Natty. He was the best coach in this whole playoff by far. And I just know that because he's a great coach. But also, this is lightning in a bottle, too, because he still have to have some Jimmies and Joes. It ain't just X's and O's.
Got you. And so let's just go full circle here. And then I got to get a couple NFL questions into you, JB. Let's go full circle here. That, Cignetti took this horrible quarterback that you see and got a national championship and a Heisman Trophy out of him. But, it's lightning in a bottle. He can't elevate anybody else because he won't have those 33 guys with him. His elevation of this trash quarterback that you that is a great quarterback and a great kid and a asset to any NFL team that gets him in the right spot. But for somehow, you're putting a little respect on Cignetti's name. If you could put some respect on Mendoza's name because the kid has earned it. Could we end there?
Listen, as a father of a daughter and a coach and mentor of kids, I got 28 currently playing on Sundays right now. I got 6 in this game Sunday. Jason, I'm not knocking the kid as far as his fabric and what he's created and what he's made of. I'm not. The kid's a great kid. I understand all that. I'm not going to bash his character. I never had bashed his character one time. All I'm saying is nobody wants to have that in an NFL locker room. I project NFL success. I've called them all. Just go back to your show.
Did you
How
say
many
no one wants that in an NFL locker room? Did you just say that?
Yes. Nobody wants.
What is that? A guy that celebrates his teammates? A guy that's no punk?
But Jason, you got to be the starter to be that guy. You got to be the guy to be that guy. He's not the guy. You can't be that. You can't be the other guy and be that guy. Your word's not going to carry any weight. Who's going to listen to the other guy crying and talking about how great they are? Nobody cares at that level. Jason, we're all getting paid. It's about money at the next level. We're getting paid.
You're acting like the back. Let's say he starts his career off as a backup quarterback, and you're acting like a guy that will support your starting quarterback unconditionally. will be an
That's
asset in his preparation and all that. Won't be a Shador Sanders who's making comments about, man, I look around the league and I'm better than a lot of these guys playing, and throwing Dylan Gabriel under the bus. You're acting like he brings no value. You're acting like Tom Brady when he was a 6th-round draft pick brought no value to the New England Patriots.
He didn't. He didn't. He wasn't valued as Drew Bledsoe's backup, Jason. He didn't become valued until he was the guy. You're telling me on your show that Fernando Mendoza is going to go in and be the guy.
No.
And this is going to rub off and permeate throughout the locker room and
I
become
want that in my locker room. Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's fine. I do
it's
too.
Like I do this show. I do this show.
Too.
I do this show. And like I'm the engine. But the guys that help me do this show, their attitude. Luke shows up every day. Right. How long do I need to work? How much do I need to do? Blah, blah, blah. It helps the overall atmosphere. Yeah. It's Jason, valuable.
Yes. No doubt. You know why? Because head coaches are only as good as their assistants. No doubt. I have no question about it. But guess what? Teams are only as good as their starting quarterback, not the backups whispering sweet nothings in my old lineman's ear.
JB,
sorry,
there are coaches. We're gonna send this clip to coaches everywhere. There's gonna be like, Jason Whitlock, we appreciate you trying to do an intervention with JB, because JB only cares about the star players. When the great coaches know that in the NFL it takes 53, in the college football it takes 8. It's why my coaches hated me my first 2 years at Ball State. I was a backup offensive lineman who had a lot of charisma and communication skills, who was a cancer to the rest of the team. And they tried to beat it out of me, because even though I was a backup and on scout team, it's like we're looking at a guy that can actually play, the other players actually like, he's a charismatic person, and he's a horrible influence on this team. And they tried to beat it out of me. And so anybody that comes in, and I could sit here and rattle off the names of backup players that I played with that actually were a part of a positive atmosphere and helped us win. Every player matters. Adding good people to your team and having them have some influence on the team. Even if Fernando Mendoza came into the locker room and was like, man, I'm going to be the coach's snitch. I'm going to snitch on everything I see. Some of them guys are valuable.
This is not college. We don't have walk-ons.
Oh, they got snitches in the NFL. I covered the NFL but we don't, way too long.
But what I'm saying is we don't have roster spots for just anybody. This isn't a walk-on scenario where we can bring 100 guys in and keep guys. This is a pay-to-play league, and you have to fit 53 spots, Jason. The backup and the third-string quarterback, by the way, unless they're called on, are irrelevant. Their voices aren't being heard in the locker room if they can't produce on the football field. This is the NFL we're talking about. Listen, I love the whole story and the feel-good thing and all that, but I'm going to send you a group text of some coaches that are going to laugh. They're not going to agree with you at all, and I can't wait. I wish I could say it on the show so you can go viral again, but I can't put these names out there. But this is not. And he has to be the guy. He's the worst Heisman Trophy winner since who? Gino? Toretta? I don't know. Like, that goes back, 35 years? I'm saying he's the worst in 25 years. That doesn't mean he's a bad kid or any of that. It's just we are bad at quarterback. Jason, the only reason you're bringing up Fernando Mendoza this much is because the quarterback pool of guys in this draft is as bad as we've seen it, and it's just getting worse. Last year was the worst I've seen in a long time. The year before that was pretty bad. Now it's even worse. It's getting worse every year.
Does he share your silly opinion on Mendoza?
I was going to quote Sean King because I wanted to make sure you heard what Sean King. Truth has no emotions is a great thing Sean King says every day. Yeah. So I want to make sure that I let you know that. The truth has no emotions. So don't worry about it. It's okay. Fernando's a great kid. Love him to death. Good job. Yay. 16-0. But he'll never play in the NFL and be the guy. But go ahead. What's the NFL question?